EBI returns to the Orpheum Theater in downtown LA with the Featherweights. 145 same-day weigh-in. We got 3 returning champs, including current Featherweight champion and 1/3 of the Danaher Death Squad, the master of leg locks himself, Eddie Cummings, along with current 135 Bantamweight champion, Gio Martinez, also former lightweight champion, Denny Prokopos. Eddie Cummings just ripping up the competition. Seems like very few people on the planet can survive his leg attacks. He's just on an entirely different level than anyone else when it comes to leg locks. Eddie Cummings seems unstoppable, especially at 145. It's gonna be very hard to survive those leg attacks. Who wants Eddie Cummings? Hardly no one. Man, he's just ripping through the competition scene.
EBI 3, that's a big tournament for me, one of my first very big tournaments. It was exciting. I went in there really to just sort of submit someone who had beat me a few months earlier, Enrico Coco. So it was nice that that worked out like that. So I got an opportunity to do that. That was mostly my focus in that tournament. Prior to EBI, I was more used to a sub-only rule set. I did a couple points tournaments, but mostly sub-only. And so the EBI is not a big leap from sub-only. It just sort of changes the fact that you have far less time, so you have to deal with stalling and negative jiu-jitsu a bit more in the EBI rule set than you do in sort of a pure sub-only set. But then you have the overtime rules, which are a completely different beast to prepare for. So that just adds in, an extra hour a day of back control, armbar drills. I'm watching a lot of tape, studying people's games, making sure I have good responses to everything I know everyone else does, seeing what their likely responses are to my favorite attacks. So yeah, it's good to go in there with an awareness, I think. This one, we expect to be in overtime all 4 rounds. So we're just really emphasizing that that aspect of the tournament more than anything else. This is the venue for submission grappling right now in terms of a major tournament. So I think it goes without saying that you want to compete in the best events against the best grapplers in tough rule sets. And this is a very tough rule set, make no mistake, with the overtime rules. The type of people you see come out too are maybe not the most well-known grapplers, but the grapplers who are most confident in their abilities in this type of rule set.
Most people thought Gio and Cummings would meet in the finals of EBI 4, but Joe Soto, he came in, he stepped in and changed those plans. So maybe we'll see Gio Martinez versus Eddie Cummings this time. Maybe we'll see Gio Martinez versus Joe Soto, the rematch. Gio's game plan is always the same. He's going after your neck.
I like to compete, that's what I do. I want to compete versus the best in the world, and Eddie Cummings is a solid competitor. He's been proving it out there, and I respect his jiu-jitsu, but people that I respect, those are the people I want to take out in the jiu-jitsu game. I'm not satisfied where I was, and I'm still not satisfied where I'm at. I want to keep growing from here, and I want to keep evolving. That's what martial artists do. The level this year, it's going to be insane. There's more money now. Everybody's going to be able to see it on the UFC Fight Pass. There's a lot more people trying to be part of EBI, so now they're getting the best of the best, and a lot of these guys, they want it. They probably have never been champs. They probably want it more than me, or maybe not, but we'll see what's up. It's just stepping it up, taking it to that next level. Like, when I'm tired, I just double whatever I was doing, triple whatever I was working on. I feel I have a good recipe going right now. There's so much more evolution is gonna happen in the near future for sure, and I'm gonna keep evolving. I'm always learning. I'm always a student, you know what I mean? So I've been just training harder, being more dedicated, taking care of my body. I don't drink ever. I used to drink all the time. I threw that away. I'm serious, I'm focused. I'm trying to take care of my body. Well, I'm trying to be number one.
Gio's always been the kind of guy that just does jiu-jitsu for hours a day with no strength and conditioning program, just his break dancing background, just the strength he's acquired from that, and nothing but jiu-jitsu, no lifting weights, no running sprints, no nothing.
The level we're now, EBI 7, you can't slack off. You have to be training at the highest levels. You have to be training not just only every day, you have to be training multiple times a day. Not only just training is enough now, you have to do some overtime work. You know what I mean? You got to put in that extra credit. Your cardio needs to be on point. If your cardio is not on point for EBI 7, you're probably not going to make it. These overtime rules, they're a real deal, man. It's not easy being in overtime rules after a long match and trying to survive when you have this awesome black belt on your back trying to choke you out, or break your arm from spiderweb. Everybody wants to be part of EBI because it's something special, something unique, and it's in LA, 6th spot to throw a tournament at. I want to be the the reigning champion for 2 different divisions, and I want to keep winning it over and over and, you know, stacking up some cash along the way. You know, that's not bad. But I want to also just prove myself among the best, and I want to be the best submission-only competitor out there. You know what I mean? That's the kind of tournaments that I get excited for. I thrive off submission-only tournaments. A lot of these other tournaments don't get me excited, to be honest. You know, I love jiu-jitsu. I respect everyone's jiu-jitsu, but my style personally, I love submission only. It just gets me hyped. You know what I mean? That's just who I am. Like, I just like going for the kill, and I like, you know, going for that submission. And what does EBI advertise? Submissions. You get submissions, you get paid. I get paid to do what I like to do. Man, that's what more tournaments need. We need more of that.
We're gonna see a Gio Martinez with incredible cardio, as well as his relentless offensive firepower. Denny Prokopos, former lightweight champion, he thought 155 was his home base, his home weight, but really he's walking around at 150. 145 is definitely Denny's home.
I asked Eddie for the opportunity to compete at 145 pounds. Eddie's always thought that my most competitive weight is at 145 pounds. I believe in what my master thinks. What I really like about this weight is that I get to train with smaller people. I don't have to train with bigger people. I enjoy that more. I get to smash people more.
In EBI 5, most people don't know this, but Denny Prokopos had no training camp because he had a serious case of staph inside his knee.
It was so bad that it required me to be in the hospital for about 7 days.
I knew how important it was to him, so I told him, let's see how you are 2 weeks out.
Every day when I was in the hospital, I prayed to fight and to be champion. Eddie, being super cool, he gave me all the time in the world. I said, Eddie, I really want to do this. He said, I'll give you all the time you need. He really believed in me.
Denny wants it more than anybody. Move down to 45, he's gonna stay there. It's gonna be a different Denny Prokopos this time around.
Currently, the 145-pound champion. It'd be great to have a rematch with him and find out if I have improved on my leg lock game.
Denny Prokopos is known for his high-level rubber guard and for his mastery of twisters.
When I was a kid, nothing like this even existed. I'm super grateful and super honored to be part of this. I don't just want this for me, and just because it played out being a grand vision or anything like that. I want this for my team, I want this for my family and all those people that supported me. The last tournament, I went through a lot. I almost died preparing, and I feel like I learned a lot about myself. And I feel like I learned the necessary things that I needed to learn in order to get to where I'm about to go. I love it, and I can't wait to fight. At the end of the night, I see myself throwing the tent up like I always do, and the belt being strapped around my waist. Me just walking around the Orpheum like that. That's my vision.
Also coming down to 145, EBI 5 finalist Rafael Domingos. This Brazilian, he's another savage. He comes to me personally and asks to be on the show. Not very many of the IBJJF stars are coming and asking to be in EBI. This is gonna be his 3rd time in EBI. Now finally, he's doing 145, and that's his weight. As EBI evolves, as we do more and more shows, we start to find out where these guys truly fit in. Now we have Gokor's best featherweight entering the EBI scene, Ara Muradyan.
EBI 3, that's when I really got into it. You know, I had heard about it, EBI 1 and 2, it was no points, submission only, which is really the most exciting part about jiu-jitsu, grappling art in general. And martial arts in general, you know, you can win on points in a martial arts competition or a boxing match or what have you. But as far as street fighting, self-defense, you can only win by knockout or submission, or you can't win on points in the street.
Very eager to go against Eddie Cummings and test his old school Hayastan leg lock system. Hayastan has always been looked at as the premier leg lock academy, leg lock system.
The grappling movement is huge right now. This tournament, just the fact that a grappling tournament is offering $20,000 to the champion is huge amount of money for the grappling world. and it brings many different high-level competitors from all over the world, competing for this grand prize. And I'm just honored, that to be part of it, and I can't wait until I put that title around my waist.
10 years ago, in the grappling scene in the United States, Bill Cooper was considered pound for pound the best American jiu-jitsu fighter in the country.
Competition was good. I liked it. I like competing. When you have guys choking your neck and shit, you're ready to handle the task, It's just cool to see two bodies like go at it, It's like National Geographic show like two cubs wrestling or two bears fighting too, That's fucking cool. And it kind of looks like that, like watching EBI 6 is watching these guys, it's like watching certain different animals fight, polar bear, Rustin, polar bear, Cora is like a orangutan, and like I was just like kind of studying their like movements, and that's just studying, just watching too. Just cool to watch. It's entertaining. I want to compete and then watch the clip and see what kind of animal I am.
He's been out of the competition scene for a while. He did do EBI 1, but that was at 170.
I'm just in love with jiu-jitsu. But this is another cool like tournament that I think like displays it and respects jiu-jitsu pretty well. I don't know, some people out there too. I just want to also prove to them and prove to myself and that I'm not, I'm not done. I still got it. I still feel like I can I want to be just competitive and compete with the top guys. But I always try to end it quick. It looks more silly too. I always like to make it like a Matrix movie. I always feel like I'm Neo. I'm the one. Like going back to it, yeah, it's like the entertainment, getting a belt, and it's cool. It's fighting. It's just fighting movements. So I want to be part of that. It's cool.
Bill Cooper returns in the best shape of his life at 145. Will we see a brand new, revived Bill Cooper?
I'm stoked, man. I'm back. I want to let people know I'm back, and I'm happy. My passion's back for jiu-jitsu. I know what I'm good at now, and I don't know, open up my gym maybe soon, and have a stable little, be independent and take care of my two kids, and see them grow up.
The level he was at 10 years ago, is that enough to compete with the level of competition we see nowadays? Did the grappling scene pass Bill Cooper by, or can you still mix it up with the best guys up to date? EBI 1 veteran Sergio Hernandez returns to EBI 7, one of the most interesting grapplers I've met in my life. His rubber guard from being side controlled is unbelievable. He's got this incredible, super unorthodox, he calls it rubber side control, and he plays a lot of donkey guard as well. And as a matter of fact, in EBI 1, he pulled donkey guard on Jeff Glover, and they both went like double donkey guard.
Ever since then, people still hit me up about that match, what kind of style was that, or what were you guys doing? I wasn't familiar with Jeff Glover's donkey guard at that time, but I feel like all the moves that I learned were from Baret, and also at one point Baret told me to look up this dude Umeki from Japan, and Umeki's like this real tall, lanky dude, and he does the same movements that I do now, and so that's where initially sparked the interest for me trying to do reverse close guard. Other than Baret being my instructor, the only other instructional tools that I had were Eddie Bravo's 10th Planet Mastering the Rubber Guard. For some reason, I was like, oh, Baret's my only teacher. I don't want to look at YouTube videos. I don't want to learn about it. I just want to learn from Baret. I got as a Christmas gift once, Eddie Bravo's Rubber Guard. So I was like, just reading it all the time. And sure enough, that I incorporated that to the style that I do.
It'll be very interesting to see how Sergio Hernandez's style, donkey guard and that rubber side control, how that matches up with Eddie Cummings or Rafael Domingos.
Jeff Glover triangled the hell out of me, dude, and to this day, that triangle still haunts me. But hopefully this time, there's no, I don't get submitted. Hopefully I get to submit everybody. That's the goal. Hopefully I bring something unique to the table, and I bring a style that people aren't used to, and I'll be able to trick my way into submitting everybody. Kind of hard to put into words, but I think I got a good strategy, and I think I'm gonna do well.
By popular demand from the UK, I put in Ashley Williams. Now, there's a young kid, just got his black belt. He's tearing up the scene in Europe.
I train in like loads of things, competed in loads of sports, but I specifically wanted to compete in a martial art. One of my coaches from a traditional background at the time said, go along, try Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I did, and I never looked back. I went from training like 1 day a week with another 10 different sports a week. Within 1 month, I quit everything and just trained Jiu-Jitsu full time.
Man, I got hit up by so many people trying to get Ashley Williams in, a new phenom.
Lots of guys from my gym and gyms surrounding the area posted and was pushing me as hard as they could. And then like 3 days in, I think, I got a message off Eddie Brow himself in my Instagram inbox, and saying you want in, and I was like, this can't be real. Like, this is insane. I compete in IBJJF tournaments all the time. That's what I have done over my career so far, like Abu Dhabi Pro Trials, stuff like that, And at the end of the day, with those tournaments, you're paying to enter. And even if you do win, you don't get anything in return, other ranking points or some recognition. So EBI is really doing a fantastic thing for the sport and is pushing it in the right direction.
And we're going to see how he stacks up against EBI's best at featherweight.
I think all athletes live for those type of fights, where you've got a chance to take out someone that you've looked up to for years, or someone who you deem is further ahead in their career, like taking those type of scalps is what puts your names out there, or even just testing yourself against those type of guys. It lets you know where you are, and it gives you a good opportunity, to know what you've got to work on, or where you've got to go from there to improve or to overtake them, or just to know if you're in the same league as those guys, So they're going to give me the best opportunity I've had, and I'm definitely going to bring it for them.
Baret Yoshida with his rear crucifix game. No one's playing a rear crucifix like Baret Yoshida. He's already pulled it off in EBI before. Can he thrive with it at 145?
This would be like the third one I've tried for, and so I'm like, oh man, I hope I can finish the guy before we go to overtime. I think I've been to like one overtime. Yeah, I don't want to go there, man. Either finish him or die in regulation. I don't want to go to overtime, man. There's no way. Whenever I'm put outside of my comfort zone, when I get really challenged with really tough competitors, I notice that my level goes up. I just was like happy to get another chance, it's something that I it's one of the goals that I've been trying for, is like win that EBI belt.
Mike Davila is one of those guys who, at brown belt, is just tapping out black belts all over the East Coast. It was a high demand to put Mike Davila in, and that's the kind of fighter I'm looking for. He came to us.
Being a brown belt in this tournament with the majority of everybody being a black belt, I just love competition. At the end of the day, I just want to be able to say I went against some of the best grapplers. To be in the tournament itself was, to me, is a win. Being in the card with all these great grapplers, and to have my name thrown in there also would be such a, just that alone is an achievement for myself. Everybody's hungry, everybody wants to win, and then putting $20,000 on the line is going to get guys, coming for you. The entertainment and how high-level grappling's been going on, and all the fancy submissions, all the heel hooks, even the overtime rules. It was just a great format that I've been enjoying watching. For this tournament, I have been watching a lot of film and trying to see if I can catch any tendencies from everybody that's been on everybody that's on the card to this upcoming EBI. It's been interesting. It's the first time I started to study tendencies and study movements. And picking up things and trying to mimic some of that in my training. So it's been a pretty interesting add-on to my training sessions.
The one thing all these guys have in common in EBI 7, all these featherweights, they all really, really wanted to do this show. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for high-level black belts that want to jump in and get crazy with EBI. No doubt, all these guys bring serious offensive firepower to the table. All of them.
Eddie put me in last minute, and I'm very thankful to him for that. I knew there was a lot of really tough opponents. I really appreciate tournaments like EBI that are pushing people like myself to train in every submission, not just arm locks and chokes and very gi-specific submissions. If Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is supposed to be the elite ground fighting martial art, then we should be proficient in every single submission. In submission only, you have kind of nothing to lose. You can just go for broke, really push the pace, go for the submissions that you want, and really not worry about losing points or getting stalled out and things like that. Chiles is my primary coach. Ever since I met him, it's even been more than techniques. He's been helping me with a lot of things. The mindset of how you approach a match, the mindset during the match, the mindset in between matches. Little things that really nobody speaks about. This is what he's been helping me ever since I met him. I've been competing in many different sports. As a child, my favorite movie was always Bloodsport. And what I feel like Eddie Bravo is doing, I feel like he's making a kumite for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So for me, it's an honor and it's a pleasure to do something like this. I'm just trying to live my life and do things like this, things that one day I'm gonna look back towards and really have a big smile on my face. The money is just an added bonus. I think any competitor that I fight is gonna be really, really tough, and I'm expecting that. I definitely have a few interesting things to display in the next EBI.
Checkmat's top black belt, Jose Gutierrez, who's also an EBI veteran. He returns as well.
I never thought I was gonna get on it again. I want to do it. I understand the pace of the fight. It's gonna be straight submission. You're not gonna have no. You can milk the clock, but dude, you don't get the fucking money. So I want the money. Straight up, I want to go cash that shit at the liquor store right down the street. It's bigger now, you know what I mean? Like, it made me want to go back. I want to be here. You feel overcommitted to a position, don't just, stick, we got 10 minutes to get the sub, It's go, you know what I mean? And it's everything goes, you allow reaping here. You allow the heel hooks, you allow neck cranks. I started jiu-jitsu when I could pay for it on my own. Work nights, wake up, go train, go back to work, wake up, go train. Sometimes sleep, go back to train. My parents worked hard. I just follow their work ethic and everything I do, It's orgullo mexicano, like when you fight, you gotta be proud, don't be a bitch, So that's like the way I fight, Attack, don't let up, be a man, that's how I live too, I win this shit, we all go out afterwards, drinks on me. At the cheapest bar.
I put together the brackets. I just want to see the most entertaining matches. Sometimes we put super fights first round. There's super fights all over the place in EBI. A very large percentage of the time someone comes up and tells me how much they love the show, they always have to say their favorite part was when Grace Gundrum came out. People love Grace. She's so unassuming, the most quiet, good girl you could ever imagine, but she goes out there with this strategy of a grown man. She knows the game so well. She's like a little 100-pound black belt, really. She's super intelligent with the jiu-jitsu, super crisp decisions, and so far she's 3-0, and she's beat 3 high-quality, elite-level girls. She beat Alyssa Wilson. Jessica Kahn is an IBJJF gold medalist. Alyssa Wilson, Pan American gold medalist. And then in EBI 6, she beat Bianca. I'm on a quest to see just how good Grace is. Is she top 10 in the world? Is she top 5 in the world? Is Grace the best 14-year-old girl on the planet? This time, the best possible girl I could find for Grace is coming out of, no doubt, AOJ Academy, Rafa Mendez Academy. His best girl, Janelle Tkaczuk, will be facing Grace Gundrum in a special match, EBI 7. We're gonna find out how good Grace really is. Plus, Alyssa Wilson, Jasmine the Beast Johnson, Cora Sek, Zoey Chiles, the Featherweights, Saturday, July 16th, Orpheum Theater in downtown Los Angeles. Eddie Cummings coming back to defend his title. Former featherweight champion Gio Martinez, Joe Soto, EBI 4 finalist, lost to Eddie Cummings. He wants a rematch. He wants that title. Rafael Domingos drops to 45. Denny Prokopos drops to 45. Introducing UK superstar Ashley Williams. Mikey Main, Sergio Hernandez, the return of Bill Cooper. Checkmat's top featherweight black belt, Jose Gutierrez. Shaolin's top featherweight black belt, Alex Ecklin, Joao Tavares from GF Team. Mike Davila, the master of the rear crucifix, Baret Yoshida, also returns. Gokar's best featherweight, Ara Muradyan. 16 of the best submission-only black belts we can find. Go at it for a possible $20,000 grand prize. Saturday, July 16th, live at the Orpheum Theater in downtown Los Angeles. The Featherweights,